everyone sufficiently prepared?
Hope this is one of those easy wins.
Begin the operation. I have your back.
I will give it my all. I shall do my part.
Not a problem. We've got a friend in trouble. Not a problem. Let's work together.
I will give it my all. I shall do my part.
Begin the operation. Allow... I'll handle this.
I shall do my very best.
Stand back.
Oh, my turn.
Watch and learn.
We shall attack together.
Tough luck. Got you.
Stand your ground.
Capturing stuff is what war's all about, right? I'll see you in hell, I guess.
I feel as though I can do anything with you by my side.
Tough luck! I'll not falter! Tough luck! Hear you loud and clear. I'll make...
My turn.
Let's take the stronghold.
Let's be sure to keep hold of it.
This doesn't look good.
This one's ours. Where to next?
You'll have to take things from here. Impossible. Our plan was flawless.
Stand back! Got you!
I'll cover you.
Got you! Got you! got you!
My turn.
Watch and learn. Think you can help?
Are you ready?
I'll show him what I've got! Hey, you tried! Way too easy. Let's carve a swath through the battlefield.
Begin the operation. Our orders are
I'm just keeping Fargus safe. Don't hold it against me.
Oh my! How impressive! I take great comfort in having such talent on our side.
You're here to help, are you not? This doesn't look so good. Let's carve a swath through the battlefield.
Take a breather.
Watch yourself! You wide open!
The stronghold's ours.
Stand back! This doesn't look so good. Little help?
Are you ready?
begin the operation. Our or
I'll show him what I've got! Hey, you tried!
I'm glad to go.
Fight like this. I'm bleeding all over the place.
We are better together!
Leave this to me. This ends here.
Nice going, everyone. That's one in the win column.
I feel my strength building.
Yeah, not bad.
I cannot grow complacent.
Lady Luck was on my side. Wish this wasn't so much effort.
How can I best use this power?
Hey there. What are your thoughts? Well,
Greetings. Welcome. Come back soon.
I carry a little of everything here. Hope to see you again soon.
Allow me to assist with any matters regarding the facilities. Let me know if I may be of further service.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Care to make yourself useful?
Counting on you both.
And you need me for this? Are you sure?
Let's get it done.
We all must do our fair share. Let us away.
I'm pretty good. Good at defending,
Take a
actually.
breather.
The other kids always
I'll
tried to
handle
beat me
this.
up when I was little, so...
The situation is not in our favor. Let us proceed with caution.
Please find it in your heart to help me. I will give it my all. I will assist you.
Not a problem. Let's work. You got it.
Looks like we got a live one. Time to get in there and fight.
Take a breather. Is that all we've got? Is that all we've got?
Can't let it end like this.
This place won't be a problem anymore.
They seem to have us overpowered.
Allow me.
Enemy down.
You're like a beautiful flower blooming up. Hear you loud and clear. I'll make sure on the battlefield. I face my comrades after this. What's next? I'm waiting. Wounds are severe. I have to fall back.
My turn.
How can I face my comrades after this?
I won't let you.
Right on.
Stand
Time
back!
to make a name for ourselves. Let's do this! Bring it down! I can still fight.
Don't mind if I do.
Like that? I can still fight. No, not yet.
I don't know how we held them off, but we did.
Allow me to assist with any matters regarding the facilities. Let me know if I may be of further service.
Well, how'd it go?
Any result's a good result.
Time to work you into shape.
You have to be...
I've grown.
I cannot.
They say,
Can't wait to see how you do.
Oh, you're back. How's it looking over in Ferdiad?
The reports are true. There's some odd-looking weaponry mounted throughout the city. As far as I can tell, though, the townspeople themselves remain unharmed. I'm pleased to say Lord Roderick and Sir Gustav have been confirmed safe as well.
that's great. Where are they now?
After working to free Duke Ivan, they escaped the castle alongside some of the captured knights. Armed with what scant weaponry they could find, they brought the fight down to the city itself.
My old man never ceases to amaze. Shouldn't even be a surprise at this point.
I should add, the Western Lord's armies aren't the only forces occupying the capital. There is another, one we can't identify at present. I doubt even the great Lord Roderick and Sir Gustav will be able to hold out much longer.
Sounds like they're in a bad spot. We should focus on keeping them safe, right?
Don't be too hasty. Why do you think the two of them are causing this uproar in the first place?
To create a diversion, I know. But I don't think that means we should just abandon them either.
I agree, Felix. I won't leave my father to die. Besides, I don't think His Majesty would want us saving him if it meant sacrificing two of his most loyal retainers.
Fine. We'll help them if we can. That better?
All that said, we won't be able to save the king while the townspeople are still in danger.
Sounds pretty straightforward then. We move on the castle and mop up in town as we go.
Annie and I know these streets better than the back of our hands. We can guide you.
Dedu must be somewhere in the castle too. We have to rescue him before it's too late.
Our plan's settled then. Everyone, move out!
Can't you just let me stay inside?
Come on, it's time. I'll do what I can. I'll back you up. I'll do my best.
It's Bernie's time to shine. I'm gonna help, okay?
Hear you loud and clear. I might just be able to help.
To rescue our fool king, and whoever else we find along the way.
Listen. Streets are flooded with enemy soldiers. One wrong step, and we'll end up hurting the civilians instead. Be careful, everyone.
We'll start by carving a path to the castle tower. On me!
Begin the operation. We have no time to waste. Quickly, we must keep pressing on. I'll handle this.
We're almost there! Keep going!
Stand back! Tough luck!
It's not over.
Got you! It's broken through our front lines! Move to counterattack!
Not the smartest move, opening the gate for us. Let's crush them here and push on into town.
You're wide open!
Not a problem. I've got this.
I'll do my best. Let's move. Those must be the weapons we heard about. They look like some kind of fire.
I must return to the castle.
Take a breather.
The dude's surrounded. We have to help him. And we'd better be quick about it by the look of things.
Who do you think you face?
I won't lose.
Begin the operation. Rodriguez is struggling. We have to help.
We need to do something about that weapon, but I doubt attacking it head-on will do us any good.
There must be controls we could use to shut it down. I could swear I've seen such a thing somewhere around here.
Might as well deal with the other one too. I wonder if those are the controls.
Thank you. You needn't worry about me. We must rescue His Majesty at once.
But we all need. You're our friend too, just like Dimitri.
This will not be my end. Someone...
I will give it my all. I shall...
Help me.
Paying attention!
I'll handle this. Prepare!
Here we go!
Not a problem. I've got it.
I'm humbled you went out of your way to help me. And ashamed to admit my own weakness.
This stronghold will fall!
Join me, Sylvain.
Come on, partner!
Do you have to call me that? This ends here!
You should have hurried straight to His
Take a
Majesty,
breather.
Felix. But here you are. Thank you.
We're getting overwhelmed. We weren't about to just watch you die.
I was wondering when your merry little band might show up. Lucky for you, I've got a nice mass grave ready and waiting.
His Majesty is in the castle. We must press on.
The attacks have come to a stop. They should be safe now.
Anthony, thank you.
Too easy.
You're like a beautiful flower blooming on the battlefield.
Their assault has ceased. That should give us an easier time. I'm moving around now.
be safe, Your Majesty.
Begin the operation. All
If I can only hold out a little longer.
Father, stay strong. We're coming.
You saved my life. No, not yet. I am grateful, but there is no time to dawdle. We must make to rescue the king at once.
Don't worry. I'm sure we'll make it in time.
My turn?
Allow me.
Not much further. My turn?
Eredfar belongs in His Majesty's hands. We must reclaim it. Guard that lance with your lives! Don't let them have it!
Sick seeing that thing with the enemy. We'll wrest it out of their cold, lifeless tombs.
My accomplishments won't mean a thing if I'm not still standing when the battle's over.
You felled countless foes with ease. I have to keep up.
This lance is a symbol of the kingdom, and it's all the Thor has left of his father. Let's bring it back where it belongs.
Indeed, to His Majesty.
Dimitri, you okay?
My friends, why have you come?
As if we would just leave you here to die. Time to get you out.
I'm afraid that I must stay. You saw what's happening out there. Should I try to leave, my people's lives are forfeit.
So they bind the boar not with chains, but with his utterly unreasonable sense of duty.
They're gonna kill you in here, Dimitri.
So be it then. If my death will keep my people safe,
I won't allow it.
Dadu.
Take it, Your Majesty.
whether it's duty towards the living or the guilt for all those we have lost. Such burdens are not yours to bear by yourself. We are here to fight by your side, Your Majesty, and so we shall, now and always.
Find them!
This way!
Typical bore. Can't help himself. Do try to keep up.
Back at ya.
On me! We will proceed as planned. I will move to assist. Stand in our way, will taste the pointed end of my lance.
I owe you one.
Sneaking out of our
you.
room, are we?
Understood.
You know what this means.
I awaited this moment. We cannot allow even a single civilian casualty. Please, lend me your blade.
Like I'd do anything else.
All these ranged attacks are really cramping my style. We should find the controls and put an end to them once and for all.
Begin the operation. Our orders...
That drawbridge would serve to be our quickest route forward. But the controls have been tampered with.
No surprise there. I'd be more shocked if they'd left them intact. Engineers, repair the controls and lower the drawbridge. Then do what you must to keep it safe. I'm counting on you.
Begin the operation. Our orders are clear.
I'll do what I can. It's worth a shot. I'll do my best. I'm a little
I see you came prepared, Felix.
Let us take this stronghold. I'll hit...
We will proceed as planned. We
handle this.
seize this moment. Let's do this! I've awaited.
Begin the operation. Our
At this moment.
Where are the knights when you need them?
I'll cover you.
I can still fight.
Someone help me, please! I'm begging you! I'll handle this.
No! I don't want to die!
Watch yourself! No! Please, spare me!
What a pity. None of this would be happening if your dear king had just been a good little boy and done as he was told.
We will proceed as planned. We move now.
I'll do my best. Let's move. I'll do what I can. We march.
Please, just let my daughter live.
We've got to help them fast.
This is the end for me. Why is this happening?
We can't let them die. Hurry, everyone.
Oh, Goddess, hear my prayer.
They're barely hanging in there. We've got to move. Think that did it.
But why? My plan failed. Had I only chosen another option.
Begin the operation. Our orders stand your ground.
All these ranged attacks are really cramping my style. We should find the controls and put an end to them once and for all.
That drawbridge would serve to be our quickest route forward. But the controls have been tampered.
No surprise there. I'd be more shocked if they'd left them intact. Engineers, repair the controls and lower the drawbridge. Then do what you must to keep it safe. I'm counting on you.
I see you came prepared, Chief. We will proceed as planned. We
Handle this.
Watch yourself!
Let us crush their defenses. I've awaited.
Begin the operation. Our
At this moment.
Think that did it.
Lend me your strength.
Let's push through, Dimitri.
Right there with you. Stand down! Where are the knights when you need them? We will proceed as planned. We must
Handle this.
Someone help me! Please! I'm begging you!
I don't want to die! No! Please, spare me!
I shall take the
What
lead.
a pity. None of this would be happening if your dear king had just been a good little boy and done as he was told.
We did it! Not much further now.
Please, just let my daughter live.
We've got to help them fast.
Oh, goddess, hear my prayer.
They're barely hanging in there. We've got to move. for me. Why is this happening?
We can't let them die. Hurry, everyone!
That should be all of them. Nice work.
I'm all right.
Oh, Goddess. I'm coming.
My plan failed. Had I only chosen another option.
Begin the operation. Our orders are clear.
I'll do my best. I'm a little nervous about this.
I will give it my all. I shall do my part.
I'll do what I can. It's worth a shot.
These ranged attacks are really cramping my style. We should find the controls and put an end to them once and for all.
No, let's take it for ourselves!
That drawbridge would serve to be our quickest route forward. But the controls have been tampered with.
No surprise there. I'd be more shocked if they'd left them intact. Engineers, repair the controls and lower the drawbridge. Then do what you must to keep it safe.
This.
I'm counting on you.
Watch yourself!
We will proceed as we. I see you came prepared, Phoenix.
Let us take this stronghold.
Let us crush the defenses.
Join me, Sylvain.
Think you can keep up?
Now's our chance. Attack!
Where are the knights when you need them?
I've awaited this.
Begin the operation. Our
Moment.
Someone help me! Please! I'm begging you!
Let's do this! I don't want to die!
We will proceed as planned.
Tell me.
I shall take the lead.
Think that did it? No!
Take a breather.
Please, spare me!
Not a problem. I've got this.
Pity. None of this would be happening if your dear king had just been a good little boy and done as he was told.
Please, just let my daughter live.
We've got to help them fast. I will give it my all. I shall...
Oh, Goddess, hear my prayer.
They're barely hanging in there. We've got to move.
This is
He hit for me. Why is this happening?
We can't let them die. Hurry, everyone!
Wide open!
We did it! Not much further now.
I'll handle this.
I will give it my all. I shall do...
My turn?
That should be all of them. Nice work.
Oh, Goddess. I'm coming.
My plan failed. Had I only chosen another option.
Take a breath. I'll handle this. Not a problem. I've got this.
All these ranged attacks are really cramping my style. We should find the controls and put an end to them once and for all.
This stronghold will fall!
That drawbridge would serve to be our quickest route forward. But the controls have been tampered with.
No surprise there. I'd be more shocked if they'd left them intact.
Watch yourself!
Engineers, repair the controls and lower the drawbridge. Then do what you must to keep it safe. I'm counting on you.
Not a problem. I've got it.
I see you came prepared for this.
No! Please, spare me!
What a pity. None of this would be happening if your dear king had just been a good little boy and done as he was told.
Stand back!
I pray we've not arrived too late. Come, let us show them the might of House Gautier.
That banner. It must be the Margrave. Finally, some welcome news amidst this chaos.
No! I don't want to... die!
Someone help me! Please! I'm begging you!
There are more out there who need our help. Come on, let's go!
Watch and learn!
Anyone help!
Oh no! We have to save them!
I will give it my all. I shall do it.
He hit for me.
It's my turn.
Why is this happening?
We can't let them die. Hurry, everyone!
Oh, Goddess.
Stand back!
Hear my prayer.
They're barely hanging in there. We've got to move.
You have my
Glad
thanks.
to go.
Could never have hoped to accomplish that alone.
Watch and learn.
Is it my turn?
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Let's have a little fun, shall we?
You're wide open!
Take a break.
I will give it my all. I shall do my part.
Either.
Begin the operation. Our order...
Think that did it.
I always knew you'd come to rescue me.
I'll handle this. Not a problem. I've got this.
Stand back!
Let us take this stronghold!
We did it! Not much further now.
My turn.
I will give it my all. I shall...
I am nearly at my limit. We can go no further. Retreat at once.
My turn.
This stronghold will fall!
Such a shame to see such promising young flames rush to be snuffed out before their time. I must admit, I went too easy on you. Perhaps I should have torn your eyes out and bound you in chains instead.
We all have our regrets in life, Cornelia. And soon you'll regret ever being born. That should be all of them. Nice work.
Is this all you're capable of? Frankly, I'm getting a little bored.
Let's push through, Dimitri!
Right there with you. Stand
Talk all you want, witch. It won't spare you your fate.
Stop struggling and accept your fate, witch.
My, how simply terrifying. Do you really think you can afford to kill me? If you do, the truth about the tragedy of Dusker will evaporate into the shadows forever.
I have no intention of slaying you. Not yet. But if you have something to say, I suggest you spit it out before I change my mind. Now, Cornelia. Earlier you said my father was betrayed, murdered by lords from within Fargus. But it was you who fueled the flame of that betrayal. You saw my uncle and Lord Arundel join hands, and you brought the Western Lords and the Imperial nobles together. All of it was you.
What a fascinating theory.
There are two things I need to know. First, your motivation. Who are you working for, and why? I know what spurred my uncle and the Western Lords to act. While the Empire has long smoldered, waiting for even the slightest spark to reignite their fury. There are 1,000 reasons why one might want to assassinate a king. But what's yours for this attempt on my life? And what of my father? Why murder him in a manner as roundabout as a staged raid? All you had to do was fail to end the plague 20 years ago, and the entire royal family would have been consumed by it.
You have a point, but I couldn't say. In a sense, that was another lifetime completely.
One more question, then. My stepmother's body was never recovered from the site of the tragedy. What happened to her? Tell me, Cornelia.
You'll find the answers you seek in the Imperial capital, though you'll have to extract them from your dearest stepsister. She must surely know something, wouldn't you think? After all, she is your stepmother's actual flesh and blood.
In Enbar.
Now, I've really enjoyed our little chat here, but I have so many places to be.
Why, you...
Don't be so sad. You'll be seeing me again before you even know it.
I'll hesitate no longer.
I cannot grow complacent.
Wait, that's it?
This will help everyone out.
My apologies. Cornelia would not have escaped were it not for my carelessness. She's likely fled west in search of refuge with Viscount Mateus. As such, I will march west at once. I will not allow the Western territories to go unpunished for this.
Stop. Just stop.
Felix?
I've got something to say, Boar. And this time, you're going to listen. Time and time again, we've tried to get it through your thick skull. We might be your subjects, but we're your allies first. Yet you still insist on doing every little thing all by yourself. So what is it? Do you lack the ears to hear with? Or do you hear our words and just choose to ignore them?
Felix, that's enough. I know how you feel, but you need to contain yourself.
I can't. 2 whole years I've bitten my tongue. The fool needs to hear this in the plainest terms possible.
It was I who chose war with the Empire. I who murdered my uncle in cold blood. I who oppressed the Western Lords. I failed to save the people of Duscur. Failed to save Glenn. And my father. The lives my actions stole from them are mine to atone for. Which I will do by exacting revenge on all who were involved. And by seeing my people safe. As for that burden, yes, I believe it is mine to bear alone.
You truly are a solid gold fool. One could search the kingdom high and low and not find another as utterly asinine as you. And the rest of you, don't just stand there, speak up.
Well, I know Felix has a strange way of showing it at times. But this is all because he worries about you, Dimitri.
And it's not just him either. We all do.
Your Majesty, you know my feelings on this matter. 6 years ago, I too watched as nearly everything I cared about was taken from me. And Felix is no different. He lost his brother that day. This pain is not yours to shoulder alone.
He's right, Your Majesty. That is why it is so frustrating to see you act like this.
I can't say it's too surprising, though. You've always kept everything to yourself, even when you were a little kid. But what you're going through now, it's more than one person could possibly manage on their own.
Please, Your Majesty. We just want to help. You can trust us.
Like I said before, all you need to do is ask, and I'll be at the ready. Besides, we'll all be out of work if you go this alone.
We will assist you in whatever we must, even vengeance.
Thank you. All of you.
Lady Cornelia, what's happened to you?
I was too careless. I can hardly remember the last time I was this badly hurt. As for the capital, Viscount Mateus, we failed, and I doubt the king will soon forget our attempt to seize it.
What? But how?
Viscount, your son, the one who married a distant relative of House Gautier. They'll have his head. Same goes for the kin of all the other Western lords.
No.
This king is a fool, to be sure, but he's not foolish enough or kind enough to forgive those who serve his betrayers. I guarantee you that. His army will begin their march to subdue Western Fargus any moment now. If you don't want your territory stolen from you or your life, then your only choice is to rise in revolt.
Yes. Yes, I understand. We will mobilize at once.
Azure Gleam, the blood-stained lance. The Western Lords suffered defeat at the capital. Cornelia, the instigator of the uprising, flees west and commands her allies, Viscounts Mateus and Gideon, to muster their forces. Hoping to settle this matter before re-engaging with the Empire, the Kingdom Army makes for the Mach region in order to defeat Cornelia and learn the truth of the tragedy of Duscur.
No. My uncle?
I'm afraid so. Among the rebels are houses Mateus and Gideon, and all the other Western lords from whom I've stripped power. They appear to have appointed Baron Dominic as their leader.
I'm so sorry, Annie. What could he be thinking?
House Dominic may be a mere barony at present, but they're a storied family whose lineage traces all the way back to the 10 elites. Centuries ago, when the wise King Klaus passed beyond the Veil of Death, he did so without naming a successor to the crown. And so, the three regions of the Holy Kingdom, Fargus, Mach, and Leicester, were divided among the three royal princes. House Dominic chose to side with the prince ruling Mach, who was eventually defeated by the forces of Fargus, leaving the once vast Dominic territory to be whittled down, meted out to the neighboring lords.
I know they held a grudge about that in the past, but surely it's ancient history at this point. Tons of people from House Dominic, my father included, have devoted their lives to serving the royal family. It makes me wonder if my uncle's heart is really in this fight.
As they stand now, House Dominic lacks the influence and might necessary to defy their surrounding lords. So when pushed to join the uprising, they would have had little choice but to go along. But that lack of strength might just be the key to our victory.
How do you mean, Gustav?
If we could only convince my brother to change sides, the Western territories would lose their leader. And if we were to follow that up with a decisive victory against a demoralized army, It would likely cause their military effort to collapse entirely.
Perhaps. But it'll be difficult to pry the Baron away without first eliminating those surrounding him.
Indeed. If nothing else, we'll need to turn the tide of war in our favor if we ever hope to empower the Baron to defect. For now, we must consider how best to break through their front. This is no small number of soldiers you offer. Are you sure Duscur can spare that many?
For good or ill, this is what our chief has decided. Preparations will take some time, but we are sworn to aid you, and we will stake our pride as a people on doing so.
Still, this is a far larger force than we ever asked for.
Please, you strove tirelessly to see our home return to us. The people of Duscur have not forgotten the kindness you showed. And though some may still think ill of you, we only offer as many soldiers as volunteered.
Duscur remains a kingdom territory. As such, I can't claim our relationship is one on equal footing. Yet, I want to believe your gracious support here will point the way to a new future for both your home and ours. Give your men my thanks. And once this war reaches its conclusion, I'll be sure to visit Duscur anew.
Understood. I'll be taking my leave now.
Dedue, none of this would be happening if not for the unflagging efforts of you and Rodrigue.
No, Your Majesty. Neither I nor Rodrigue could have accomplished this. Your sincerity is what won their trust.
I hope you speak true. Nothing I do will ever bring back their fallen loved ones after all.
Yet you have shown us the truth all the same, allowed us to see a better future. Not only me, but everyone from Duscur.
And still, the whole picture remains elusive. A dark secret continues to linger over the tragedy, shrouded by shadow. Shedding light on it is my... No. It is our duty.
Time to work you into shape.
I wonder if this will suit me.
I will devote my...
Can't wait to see how you do.
Oh, you're awake. Don't worry, it's only been a few hours.
What happened? The last I remember, I was training some of our new recruits.
You got hit by some stray magic. Pretty hard, too.
Yes, that's right. How could I have let my guard fall so carelessly?
Probably the exhaustion. You usually sidestep stuff like that, no problem. Everybody was really worried about you, though. Dedue and Felix in particular didn't know what to do with themselves. Guess the silver lining is that it forced you to get some rest. If only for a few hours.
Apologies for causing such a disturbance. I'm fine now, I assure you.
Uh-huh, sure you are. I know you're just gonna get straight back to work if I leave you be. But hey, take a look around first.
The room is immaculate. Is this your handiwork?
Yep, though we left anything that seemed like it would need your input. Figured we could at least take care of the small stuff while you were out, though. Oh, and everyone, and I mean everyone, thinks you should be taking more breaks.
I'm certainly grateful for the gesture. But how did you find time for this amidst your other responsibilities?
It was easy once we split everything up. Felix, Dedue, and I wrapped up the training session in your stead. Then Rodrigue and Sylvain handled the rest of your paperwork. You might want to glance through it later, though. Ingrid tended to the horses, while Ash and Annette helped organize all your books. Oh, and Mercedes baked some wonderful treats for you. They'll have you back on your feet in no time. What else? What else? Oh, right! We sent some soldiers out to check on the nearby villages, too.
Incredible. I never expected you to do this much.
I told you not to do everything yourself, but you still keep piling more and more stuff on anyway.
That's not true. I've relied on you and the others much more frequently of late. Besides which, this is what I want to do.
You've gotten better, sure, but I'm saying it's not enough. Don't you trust us?
This isn't a matter of trust. I deeply depend on every single person in this army.
Then why didn't you tell anyone else about how you went and buried all those villagers? Everyone was stunned when I mentioned it to them. They want to hear about that stuff from your mouth, not mine.
Yes, My apologies.
If you're really sorry, then you won't let it happen again. Anyway, go get some more rest. And don't try to say you're not tired just so you can keep working.
I see I can't fool you. Though in truth, I doubt I'll be able to doze off again so soon after enjoying my first dreamless sleep in ages.
In that case, come kill some time with me. I'm sure the training grounds will be free by now.
Yes, that sounds lovely. And, thank you.
Hey, Dedue. It looked like you were having some trouble out there during training today. All good?
It is not uncommon. Many soldiers do not think highly of me.
Why's that?
As you know, I am from Duscur. Relations with my home have improved now that His Majesty has taken the throne, but many still hold misgivings about fighting beside someone like me.
Really? I don't see why.
The tragedy of Duscur shook the entire kingdom to its core. And now I am among the Royal Guard, an honor often reserved for the children of nobles. As I am neither noble nor knight, many are displeased at my position.
Yeah, that kind of stuff always makes people jealous. I've got tons of rumors flying around about me, too. Not that I blame them. I was just a regular merc, plucked off the street and into the officers' academy just because I happened to bump into Dimitri. All of it was a lucky break, if you ask me. Kinda natural it would get under people's skin.
True. We are both here due to happenstance involving His Majesty. It is in the nobility's instinct to resent us for claiming their rightful roles. Missing out due to sheer luck is cruel indeed.
I'm sure Dimitri's got his hands full balancing it all, too. One wrong move, and we could be faced with a full-on rebellion. But you know, I think there's an easy way to solve this. We just have to prove we're both capable leaders, that we deserve people's support. It's like I said before, as long as we get results, trust and respect will follow. Even the biggest skeptics will have to throw their weight behind us if we can show we have what it takes.
Something you learned as a mercenary.
Yep. There was this thief we had in our company, real shady guy. Nobody trusted him. But he did his work just as well as anyone else. And before long, everyone had pretty much warmed up to him. After a year or so, even I was joking around with him like he was an old friend.
He won your trust.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we didn't know for sure he wouldn't just run off with all our stuff one night. But that's why people like you are so valuable. You know, people who keep an eye out for anything suspicious.
I see.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk your ear off.
No, I appreciate it. I will try to follow your advice.
Ah, Sylvain. I was hoping to ask your opinion on our recent meeting.
Hey, I'm always happy to talk. But if you want House Gautier's take, shouldn't you ask my father?
I don't want House Gautier's opinion. I want yours.
Okay. Well, we were talking about the pros and cons of incorporating commoners in the nobility, right? Seems to me like we got it all sorted out.
Yes. The discussion primarily revolved around a single point. Whether those without crests are actually worthy of entering the nobility.
I mean, if they're up to the challenge, I don't see why not. It's like how you promoted my brother, right? Skill is what matters in the end.
Indeed. And the performances of Ash and the Commander serve as proof of such.
Just don't get carried away, you know? Too much of a good thing and all that. I'm sure you realize what would happen to the kingdom if we lost the power of crests.
Naturally. However, crest bloodlines are currently fading everywhere. People such as Felix who were born with major crests are the exception in this day and age.
Which means Fargus has two options if we want to retain our power. One, we bolster our military and promote prosperity while delicately letting the bloodline dance play out. Or two, we admit bloodlines won't last forever and create a social system that doesn't rely on inheritance. Neither one would hold up for long, but if I had to choose, I guess the first option would be the better one for the kingdom on the whole.
Bolstering our military is more easily said than done. Impoverished as our land is, it will be difficult to compete with regions of more fertile ground.
Hey, do you remember what I said when you talked to me about promoting my brother? I told you it was important to keep up appearances while we were in the middle of a war. And honestly, I don't have any real objection to the way you're running things now.
Thank you, Sylvain. I knew you would help me sort things out in my head.
I don't usually get into serious stuff like this, but I'm glad I could help.
Such topics are not beyond your grasp, though. Your complete sincerity is a great strength. That said, You never show that side of you to any but Felix and myself. Although, I must admit, you were far from sincere during our academy days.
Ugh, don't remind me. Just thinking about it makes me cringe.
If you see the error of your ways, it is not too late to mend them. Or perhaps you require one of my lectures like old times?
Pass. You know I've got them all memorized anyway.
I do hope you realize how much I rely on you, Sylvain. You have so many things I lack. You're clever and quick-witted like your father, yet...
Yeah, well, I've been jealous of your strength ever since we were kids.
None of us are perfect, so let us dwell no longer on our failings. I apologize for taking up so much of your time, though I hope to have similar discussions in the future.
I'm looking forward to it. Glad I can always speak my mind around you.
What's wrong, Ingrid? You look troubled.
Oh no, it is nothing. Don't worry about it.
It has to be something if you're just standing there staring off into space. You can always talk to me, you know. It might not be much help, but...
It's this land. It is so fertile. I cannot help but be amazed.
It is an unusually bountiful region for Farkas, and a beautiful one at that. It doesn't have nearly as much snow as the north, and multiple rivers flow through it. I could scarce take my eyes off of that wheat field we passed earlier.
My home does not have anything as lovely as that. It's nothing but a barren, rocky wasteland, and the soil we do have is so poor even the weeds disdain it. We have tilled the ground, removed rocks, and sowed seeds in hopes that our descendants might one day benefit, but... Mom, who knows how long it would take for us to have large, fruitful fields like the ones here.
Our blood, sweat, and tears will drench the land, serving as nourishment for those who come long after. You may not accomplish it in your lifetime, but the effort will definitely pay off down the road. Or, that's what I think, at least.
Those are the words of King Lugh, yes? From Lugh and the Maiden of Wind. That is one of my favorites.
Yeah, hearing you talk about your homeland actually reminded me of another part. At one point, it uses the phrase, barren as the land of Dagda. I'm sure it's just some term the poets created long after Lugh, but it got me curious. So I went and tracked down a travel journal about Dagda.
I haven't read many travel journals. What did it say?
It spoke of a crop that grew easily, even in their infertile soil. Apparently it's really filling and tastes amazing when boiled or baked.
It sounds too good to be true. Like a crop out of a fairy tale. My homeland would greatly benefit from cultivating a plant like that.
I can't say for certain if it'll actually grow there, but it's probably worth looking into. And if there's any way I can help, just say the word.
I am sure a royal knight has better things to do than worry about the problems of House Galatea.
This isn't about my station. I'm just a pal lending a hand. Besides, I grew up poor. I know what it's like to go hungry. No one should ever have to experience that.
Thank you, Ash. In that case, our first task is to look deeper into this miracle crop of yours. I wish we could wait until this war is over, but that would take too long. I want to learn all I can about it as soon as possible. Oh, this is so exciting.
Agreed. Now we just have to survive long enough to uncover its secrets.
This lovely weather gives cause for my feet to wander of their own accord. Oh, I think I spy a familiar face! Good day, Ash.
Morning, Flame. Out for a stroll?
Yes, and you are... fishing?
Yep. The army's a bit short on provisions, so I was thinking I could help add to the pile.
What a simply splendid idea! Can I take a look at your catch?
Oh, help yourself. I've been out here since before dawn, so there's quite a few fish already.
Goodness, you're right! You must be a talented angler indeed.
Oh, thanks, Flame. And yeah, not to brag or anything, but I'm pretty confident in my abilities with the old fishing pole. My brother used to take me fishing in a nearby river when I was little.
So he taught you all you know? I must admit I'm ever so jealous. I used to go fishing with my mother long ago, but I haven't done it in years at this point. And if I even think about getting close to a river now, my brother swoops down to give me an earful.
I'm sure he's just concerned. I'd be scared to let my younger siblings fish all by themselves, too. Do you want to give it a go now?
Really?
Why not? I mean, I'll be right here to make sure you don't fall in or anything.
Thank you very much, Ash. I'm going to catch a big one. Oh! I hooked one!
Look at that line bend! It must be huge!
Curses! It escaped.
I caught a glimpse of its shadow when you tried to reel it in. That thing was a monster.
I'm surprised to learn this river is home to a fish as large as that.
Same. I've been coming here for a long time and never once seen one that big.
It is decided then. The next time I find that fish, I will capture it. Will you join me again when that time comes? My brother will be more amenable if you agree to be there watching over me.
Seteth amenable? Yeah, that'll be the day. But sure, I'd be glad to tag along.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
This should be fun. I couldn't have done it without you.
I'll be able to help you. A new power is...
This will help everyone.
way better than I thought it would.
Hey, a new power!
Got to give this a try sometime.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
Sure, I'll take a swing at it.
I'm just glad we finished.
How can I best use this power?
This should come in handy.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
Changing up my style.
We did great!
This will help everyone out.
I'm a better man now than I was 5 minutes ago.
We make a good pair! This'll help me break new boundaries.
I can't wait to test my newfound strength.
I have yet more power to unleash. This will help everyone out.
Time to work you into shape. With proper training, you'll be unstoppable.
I carry a little of everything here. You've got an eye for quality, friend. You've got an eye for You've got an eye for You've got an eye for quality, friend. You've got an eye for quality, friend. You've got an eye for quality. You've got an eye for You've got an eye for quality, friend. You've got an eye for quality. You've got an eye for quality. You've got an eye for quality, friend. Hope to see you again soon.
Time to work you into shape. Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
Well, this'll take some getting used to.
Can't wait to see how you do.
Right. Right. What say you? Thank you very much.
Hey!
Please be listening. Oh. That has much difficulty. This is giving me great joy.
Perfect. Whoa, are you sure I can have this?
Greetings.
Excuse me. A shame.
Oh, thank you. I love it.
Hear a girl out, will you?
Hello there. Oh, that's right. My,
Oh, it's you. So, you up for a chat?
Huh? Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. This is pretty great.
Nuh-uh. I agree. Wait, for me? Greetings, friend. Nothing to report. Sounds great.
Say,
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Come this way. You have my gratitude.
Nuh-uh.
Ha ha ha. You know me all too well.
Come to think of it...
How about it?
Nuh-uh.
Nope. Wow.
You look well today. I see. I accept it with thanks.
Hear me out.
Let's give it our all.
For me? Thanks.
Hi there. Over here!
Hello there.
Hey there. This is nice.
You mean it's for... Thank you.
Oh, it's you. No. I wonder... Thank you. Come here, will ya? How can I serve? Marvelous. This is...
Yeah, and watch your back out there, okay?
Hear you loud and clear, boss. Sure glad I got you in my corner.
Now then, just gotta... Oh. What are you hiding back there for, Bernadetta?
Who was that guy you were just talking to?
Who, that? Just a merc buddy of mine, asking if I had any jobs for him.
Oh, he was a mercenary? But he looked like a bandit!
Hey, come on now. You shouldn't assume the guy's a common criminal just because he looks rough around the edges.
But, what about the way he talked? Oh, so scary!
You'd sound like that too if you'd been a merc your whole life. Most of these guys didn't have a mom teaching them how to sound nice and proper like I did.
I see. I guess I don't really know you that well, but... Are all your friends like that? Is that too nosy? That's really nosy, huh?
I mean, not all of them. But now that I think about it, it's kinda impossible to avoid in that line of work. Guess that means you won't be signing up for merc jobs anytime soon, huh?
Obviously not! No way, not happening! Even if I wasn't as shy as I am, I'd never be able to handle all those scary people at once!
That sounds like your anxiety talking. You'd see there's nothing to be afraid of if you just gave them a fair shot. And hey, isn't basing your opinion of strangers on their appearance just gonna make you feel worse?
Well, what else am I supposed to base my opinion on?
Just spend some time with them. If you ask me, the best place to judge someone's character is either on the battlefield or over the dinner table.
I already told you I can't! Not me! Nope! Please, I need you to understand!
I really don't get it. Is his appearance the only thing that's making you distrust him? There are plenty of guys out there who look just like that but have a heart of solid gold. Nicest folks you'll ever meet. By the same token, there are some real horrible people who cover it up with niceties and honeyed words. The kind of people who prey on others. My point is, judging a book by its cover will only get you in trouble. Trust me, you can't always tell who's good and who's bad from looks alone.
Why are you trying to scare me? Nobody's tricking the iron heart of Bernie. Not today, not ever. Well, probably. Maybe. I'll be fine, I swear.
Hunger is the true enemy.
Solid, solid.
This is the best! Let's eat!
How thoughtful of you. Shall we feast together then?
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the... Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
Solid, solid.
This surprise pleases me. How did you know I would have enjoyment of this?
It's nice to share a meal with someone who doesn't have an ulterior motive.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
Solid, solid.
Next time, I will treat you to one of my home-cooked meals. You will join us, will you not, brother?
Yes, my dear Flame. I always look forward to your culinary masterpieces.
Come back whenever you're hungry.
Care to make yourself useful?
Counting on you both.
And you need me for this? Are you sure?
I sure hope it's something I can actually do.
We all must do our fair share. Care to make yourself useful?
Counting on you both.
Indeed. Let's give it our best.
Let's do this together.
We all must do our fair share.
Oh, hey, Happy. You sure like the outdoors, huh?
I guess you could say that. Probably because I grew up in a forest. Or maybe it's because I was forced to live in Abyss all that time.
Oh, that's right. You were at Garreg Mach too. I wasn't there for very long, but I never would have guessed there was a whole town hiding just below my feet.
Well, it was. I should know. What about you, though? What did you do before hopping into the mercenary business?
Before that? Oh, well... I lived with my mom in a village deep in the mountains. Feels like forever ago now. Oh, I call her my mom, but we weren't actually related. She was more like a foster parent.
So what was she like? I don't suppose she was interested in magical research, was she?
I don't know about research, but yeah, she knew how to use magic.
Interesting. How did you two end up living together?
I don't really know the details. I can't remember anything from before I was with her. Apparently, I was a foundling. Sadly, finding a starving, abandoned child isn't that uncommon. But for her to take me in and raise me as her own, I think my mom was someone special.
Yeah, I guess. She was probably a good person.
Something on your mind, Happy?
I was just wondering why someone who could use magic was living in a remote mountain village.
You know, someone told me one time that she wasn't actually from there. But when I asked her about it, she just gave me this sad smile.
Very interesting.
Seriously, Happy, what's going on? Does it have something to do with my mom?
No, it's nothing. Sorry to bring it up. I was just letting my imagination get the better of me. Sorry if I upset you, really.
I'm fine, don't worry about it. No big deal. Besides, I'm sure you had your reasons, right? If you ever feel like talking about it, I'm always here.
Thanks. Just some old demons of mine.
Happens to the best of us. Don't sweat it. You want to head back and get something to eat?
Sure. Oh, and we can pick some berries on the way. I think I saw some a little bit ago.
What kind? After all my time in the mountains, I'm something of a berry expert myself.
Looks like there's lots of bugs around here. Go on and eat a bunch and grow nice and big plants.
Hey, Bernie B. Doing a little garden care?
Huh? Oh, yes. Do you need something, Happy? Oh, wait. Are you here to finish me off and turn me into fertilizer? No! I'm completely devoid of nutritional content. I'm basically just air.
No, but if you want to be fertilizer that badly, I'm certain it could be arranged. I just wanted to mention how I'm surprised to find carnivorous plants growing here. I was curious who was taking care of them, and now I seem to have found my answer.
Yeah, carnivorous plants are my favorites.
And mine as well. I had no idea we were such kindred spirits.
That's so great! I never thought I'd find another carnivorous plant lover in all of Falkland. Yay!
You really don't need to yell like that. So, which one do you like best, Bernie B? There's a lot to consider after all. The aroma, the texture, the way you prepare it.
Oh yeah! Some smell nice and some are just soft as all get out. But the way they're prepared? Like how you take care of them? I suppose there's a lot of variance there too.
Indeed. So of the ones here, which is your favorite?
Maybe this one. The one that looks like a jug.
I like that one as well. It smells divine. And the experience really changes depending on what kind of berries you stuff it with.
Can't say I've ever thought to stuff it full of berries, but I definitely see how that would change things. Oh, but I also like this one here with the leaves that act like a mouth. They're so teensy and cute, and they blossom with white flowers. I could just stare at them all day.
Interesting. I always pick them before the flowers can bloom, so I didn't know that. Aren't the buds wonderful? Of course, wrapping with leaves is great too.
Yeah, the buds are unusual. I love them. And it's fun watching the leaves move. I'm happy you like watching them as much as me.
Watching?
Huh?
In any case, now we know we like the same ones. We should have a bite together next chance we get. Anyway, I have to be off. See ya!
Yep. Next time we'll go out together and, get something to eat? I guess that sounds nice.
Flame, it has come to my attention that you have gone out and aided the Knights of Seros again. I heard that you made your way to the infirmary and spent the entire day treating the sick and wounded. What in the world were you thinking? Do you not know how dangerous that was?
I am sorry, brother. However, the knights very much appreciated my assistance.
Their appreciation is inconsequential. Your own safety should be your only concern. This is exactly what happened during that fated battle. You exhausted your strength, healing those who were injured.
Yes, I remember. No matter how many people I helped, the number of wounded only increased.
You were so young. Your body must have been crying out for you to stop, and yet you refused. And now you are left with a body that demands extended periods of slumber. You have not forgotten, have you?
Of course not.
If you do not exercise extreme caution, you may not wake up were such a thing to happen again.
I am well aware. Every night I lie awake, afraid that my eyes will not open come morning. But if I let fear control me and begrudge my power, there will be no reprieve for those who suffer. The thought of that is too much to bear. Furthermore, if we lose this war...
Flame. Should that come to pass, I will protect you. No matter the cost. I swear upon my wife, your mother.
Father, I have been wondering something. Is it truly so difficult for the people of Fodlan to live in peace? The world would be a much happier place if everyone could live in harmony with each other.
I know. I feel the same. But so do the majority of those risking their lives in this war. That is why I believe a peaceful future awaits us, beyond this dreadful conflict. That is the reason I fight. And so you do not have to.
Father.
If I lost you, I would lose the very meaning of my life. And so we will always be together.
Come now, Father. Please try to understand that I cannot stay with you forever. I will grow up eventually, though I do promise to refrain from any unnecessary recklessness. And until that day comes, I will always be with you. Besides which, I am certain Mother would be cross with me if I left you all alone.
I understand. Thank you, Flame.
If that's what you want.
I can fight as well.
Time to go to work. The fight starts now.
Ready, everyone?
Let's move. I'm ready to go.
I will give it my all. I will assist you.
We will proceed. We must strive to perform to the best. Hear you loud and clear. Hear you loud and clear. I might just... Oh.
I shall do my very best.
Let us crush their defenses. Stand back. You shall pay for this. You hear? Got you! I shall... Hear you loud and clear. I'll make sure... Capturing stuff is what war's all about, right?
They are relying on me.
They're wide open.
I believe this location belongs to us now. I will give it my all. Let us move
back.
Did it! I really did it!
I'm sorry. We weren't strong enough. What's next? I'm waiting.
I will do...
Hear you. Come on. Hear you loud and clear. I'll make sure.
Do my best.
I'll see you in hell, I guess. I can always trust you to have my back.
There is not a moment to wait.
I'm sorry. We weren't strong enough. Watch it.
I will give it my all. I shall do my...
And learn. Let's go. Pretty good, huh? Retreat! You shall pay for this, you hear? Got you!
I'll cover you.
Tough luck! Hear you loud and clear. I'll make...
Do my best.
I've awaited this moment.
Stand down.
Work through!
This is all my fault.
I am ready. Oh, my turn.
Great stand!
I will give it my all. I shall...
Back. We're done for. The rest is up to you.
So this is defeat. I'm sorry.
Not a problem.
My turn.
Looks like you got one tough fight on your hands.
Wounds are severe. I have to fall back. We move. We will proceed as planned.
Either.
I shall take the...
Not a problem.
lead.
You'll have to take things from here. We did it! Luck was on our side today.
I have a message, Your Majesty. The Imperial Army has begun an assault on former Arendelle territory.
They've caught on to us.
And? How does Arendelle fare? The force we sent to bolster their defenses still holds the castle, but they're under considerable pressure. They may not hold out much longer.
That bad, huh? Could they have planted spies in our midst at the fortress?
Even were that the case, this would be an odd turn of events. We left sizable reserves guarding both Aryan Road and Arundel. Under those circumstances, Felix's unit alone would seem enough to keep the enemy at bay.
But this enemy marches under the flag of the Black Eagles. They appear to be the Emperor's personal battalion.
Edelgard's trying to seize Aryan Road personally?
The Emperor has panache, I'll give her that. It takes some real guts to confront the Kingdom and Alliance simultaneously. If you ask me, it feels like quite a roll of the dice for us to keep focusing on the West, while the Imperial threat marches towards us unchecked.
Still, it seems like we should be taking care of our own business in the West before we turn our attention to Aryan Road.
Agreed. If we don't quell this rebellion, the very kingdom could collapse in on itself. Of course, we can't turn a blind eye to the Empire's attack either, but taking the sword to these insurrectionists must be our top priority.
Indeed. Considering the relative urgencies of both situations, the trouble in the West takes precedence. That said, the thought of Aryan Road falling into her hands is a difficult one to stomach.
Send forth the Knights of Seiros, then. We may be few in number, but even a small force can be all the difference when defending a siege. And given the debt we owe you, the Archbishop will surely not refuse you this favor.
Thank you, Sedith. I'll send an envoy to her at once. Go to Lady Rhea and request reinforcements from the knights at both Arundel and Aryan Road. Tell her, if Arundel proves too difficult to pacify, her knights should not hesitate to abandon it. If such an eventuality comes, they're to fall back to Aryan Road and hold the fortress with the others. Understood?
Yes, Your Majesty!
We don't have time to be sitting on our hands either. Let's hurry up and end this rebellion.
Right you are. There's not a moment to waste. We'll begin our war council at once.
Is everyone sufficiently prepared? I am fully prepared to do battle.
Awaited this moment.
Ready to go.
I will give it my all. Please support them. I will give it my all. I will assist you.
Not a problem. Let's
go. We're with you all the way. Stand tall.
You know what they say about playing with fire.
I've Hear you loud and clear. I'll make sure I waited this moment.
Can't let it end like this. Looks like we got a live one. Time to get in there and fight.
We'll have to hold the line for now. Be patient and wait for an opening. Around. We will proceed. Me.
It tastes more bitter than black as coffee.
Let us never stop moving forward.
Nice, Dimitri. But the next one's mine. You'll have to take things from here.
What's next? I'm waiting. Gotcha! They knew what they were getting into. I shall hear you loud and clear. I'll make the
Striking display!
Can't let it end like this.
Are you ready?
I'll show them what I've got. Hey, you tried. Tough luck.
It is over. I must tend to the wounded at once.
Lady Luck was on my side. I'm a better man now than I was 5 minutes ago.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Allow me to assist with any matters regarding the facilities. Let me know if I may be of further service.
Well, how'd it go? Any result's a good result. Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Allow me to assist with any matters regarding the facilities. Let me know if I may be of further service.
My instruction comes at a high price. Don't neglect your daily studies.
Hunger is the true enemy.
Solid.
Ah, this is...
This is the...
Come back whenever you're hungry.